Hello, welcome back. So, in the first bit, we looked at the project aim. We just pinpointed what the three senior executive officers want us to do. Which, just to recap, they want us, number one, to provide the business insight. And under number one, they want us to detect customers with unusual high spending. That is A. B, they want us to detect frequent refund requests. That could indicate fraud. And also C, they want us to identify unusual patterns in booking source. So yeah, I just want to kind of investigate the data, see how big, how small, how are the data related, because remember we have two tables. Table 1 is the customers table, underneath it table 2 is a transaction table. As you can see where I'm hovering my mouse, that the two tables are simply two different sheets in Excel. That is how ESQL uses them. One table is a sheet, any other table are just sheets. All right, so we are in customers table, inspecting the data, the column. I can see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 columns from customer ID all the way to loyalty point. Now, I did also explain that we have seen that customer ID is in this table and it's also in the transactions table. I'm going to go to the transaction table in a bit. So clearly, customer ID and B, they are very, very important for us because the project aim wants us to be able to detect the customers, and this is the only table that the customer names are there. Wonderful. So how big is this data? I'm just going to scroll down. If I didn't before, I'm going to do that now. I'm scrolling down, down, down. Wow. All right. I'm feeling how slow it goes when I'm coming down. That means the data is much. I can see um we have 545 customers. All right, that is quite large. Just so you know, if it's a million, thousands, as long as it can be populated into ESQL, it will work. All right, just gonna go up. This same script will work. All right, so that is all about inspecting the customers table. Let's go to the transactions table. Now, as you can see in the transactions table, we're from column A, which on my left top side, we have transaction ID all the way to J, which is refunded. So from column A, we have transaction ID, customer ID, amount, transaction date, transaction type, status, payment method, flight ID, booking source, and is refunded. All right, so I did say the customer ID on this particular column, as you can see, is very important. It is here. It is also in the customer column. That is going to be our key factor to connect the two tables together. Why do we need to connect the two tables? Because we can't, on this table, we can get the transactions. But what is the name of the customers? As you can see, there's no name of customer on this table. We can only get the name of the customers on the customer table. All right, what you see here, this is kind of how most most applications are made. It's called normalization or denormalization. It kind of makes it easy for website or database to work faster and smoothly, and also it doesn't make the database to be clogged with duplicates of data. So as you can see here, transaction table hold just transaction, and the customer table hold customer details. All right, still in transaction table now. I can see the transaction ID, which is very key. These are unique. I can imagine. I can see they're all unique. They're unique data. Fine, that's good for us. I'm just going to get rid of the zeros. I can see. I don't think there's any need. Just going to get rid of the zeros. Let's see. Yep. All right. Fine. So we have just the numbers. What do we have next again? How big is the data? Let's have a look. Let's go down. down. Oh my, oh, this is really huge. Okay, as you can see, I'm in 5,088. Let's go down, 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 down. Wow, it's flicking. We are in 10,017, 10,000, yeah, 10,017, yeah, 10,018 because of the header. All right, so let's is that the last? All right, this is the last. We have 10,069 rows of customer transaction. We're in 10,070 because of the header. All right, this is a big one. This is a very, very big one. We are progressing. We're going to take ESQL to big data, and you will, by the end of the day, be a fraud analyst, and you can work anywhere you wish to work in. All right. So the first thing I always best practice to do is to understand the data, which we have seen the linking. What about the amount? The amount is key for us to know the total spending per customer. The D will help us to know the date, if they are new customer or old customer. The E will help us to know if it's purchased or there's any other criteria there that we need to know. The F is the status, if it's completed or not. The G is also another pattern we can build up in fraud analysis. And this is a credit card, PayPal, and whatever we need to do. The H, this is the flight ID if we need to make any advanced grouping, segmentation, or whatever. The I is the booking source. The booking source is very important. You remember in one of the requests, that's the third request, is for us to identify unusual patterns in booking source. This is the booking source. I'm going to get to that when we start digging into modeling the fraud detection system script. The last bit is refunded. This is very important. If you remember, in our B project aim, they want us to detect frequent refund requests. Why is someone booking tickets and always asking for refund? There could be something behind the scene there. We're going to dig into that. So the way I always start, we have inspected the customer table, we have inspected the transaction table. It is best practice for us to document the size of this data that we are working with. So I'm just going to click on start. You click on start on any ESQL screen, it pops up ESQL for us to start writing. What do I want to write? I want to first document the total rows, the total data we are working with on this customer, on this customer table. Let's document it so the report will be clear what kind of data we have worked with. So what do I have here? I have a simple script. You don't need formulas, you don't need anything. Just get the script to work over and over again, big or small data. So I'm just going to click on run.
SQL operation started.
SQL is doing its thing. Once it's finished, I'm going to explain further. What is it doing? It just
SQL operation finished.
To validate, to confirm my counts that I've done. As you can see in front of you here, it has gotten 545. Just going to push it aside so you see the bigger screen. Let's see it here. All right, so this is it here. We can see our total table. Total rows we are working on the consumers table is 545. Fantastic. So I'm just going to document this now. How do I document it? I'm clicking on the comment section here. I'm going to color this green, which is okay. So I'm just going to take this one out. So what we have here, so this, just so you know, this is the history part where we document things on ESQL. So what is the heading of this? This is the total customers we are working on. So as you can see, I just imputed total customers. I can increase the font or leave it how it is. What is this? This is the script. What kind of script did I use to get it? This is the script here, colored here, and this is the data. Simple and easy. I can now email this to the senior leaders to have a look. Fine. So I'm just going to go to the next bit now. That will be for the transaction, total data in the transaction sheet. Clicking on start here, open the big interface, changing the code. What am I changing here? I'm just going to push this aside. What I'm changing here, this is select statement that gets, what is really getting is the count of the records from where, from the transaction table. And finally, to just call it transaction, total transaction, just an alias as total transaction. So I'm just going to click this one now.
E SQL operation started.
All right.
E SQL operation finished.
Fantastic. As you can see in front of us here, it has gotten 10,069. This is absolutely good. I'm just going to push it aside so we confirm. What we have in front of us here is 10,069. So I'm just going to comment it out here. I'm just going to use green again because it's looking okay. What will I put as the heading here? It's just total cost, total transactions. That's all. This is just to show what we're working with. This script can be used for any purpose. As the data grows bigger or smaller, this script can be run multiple times and these results will come. Anyway, let me have a look. Let me run through what we have here. This is the title I just put in. What is the script? This is the script. What is the result of this script? This is it here, showing 10,069. And this is clear documentation that we've achieved with E SQL. Nice and simple. All right, so we have clearly been able to document and also inspect our data. And the next bit will be diving deeper into achieving the first objective of the senior leaders, which should be to detect customers with unusual high spending. So I hope this is slow and steady. I hope you are getting more confident to be a fraud analyst in any company you find yourself in. But for today, we are in the aviation industry. It is a very, very capital intensive industry, and experts like this are needed if you have this kind of skill. Stick with us while we move slow and steady to solve the 3 senior managers problem. Thank you.